Hey there, colleague. How in the world are you doing? Today on this quick take, what do you do when you've been given a directive, a canned curriculum, and it doesn't feel right? There's other things that you believe that your students need, that they deserve, that you want to do with them in your classroom, but it doesn't fit inside of the script, the can. This video is in response to a question from Marcel. Marcel asked, hey Dave, I've got a moral dilemma. I'm teaching a canned curriculum course that has a binder that I'm supposed to follow. It's academic literacy, but the students mostly read SSR books and write reflections about their reading processes. We've yet to read anything together. I want to do articles of the week and guide them through challenging texts, but this would be going against my directive. Have you ever been in a position, Dave, of having to suppress your teacher instincts to conform? Yes, I have, Marcel. Let's talk about the first few years of my teaching career when I was tasked with teaching the language curriculum. The language curriculum was a scripted curriculum. You had exact things that you were supposed to read with students, and you were teaching students in 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade phonics. You were teaching phonics. And students were placed into the course based on how they had done on the state standardized test in the previous year. And this was considered an accelerated course, not a remedial course, but students very, very strongly felt like they were in something that was remedial. And what we did with the students was kind of boring. It got pretty boring most days because it was repeating back the sounds of letters to me, reading really basic texts that weren't super interesting to that age level of student. And so what I did, Marcel, is I asked my principal, I said, hey, this is what's going on in my classroom. I think that I can achieve the objectives of this curriculum in a much quicker time if I can go off script. And what I would like to add into the remaining time is reading writing workshop, Nancy Atwell style. I had been reading in the middle, and that's kind of where I got my inspiration. And thankfully, Marcel, I did have permission from my principal to do that. Speed up the language curriculum, the canned curriculum, like what you're talking about, and use my remaining time for reading writing workshop, which I felt was what my students actually needed. So in these types of situations, Marcel, I think first thing to do is to present your immediate supervisor with the case for doing something different. I don't think you probably should ask to just completely abandon what you've been tasked with doing, but how could you just shorten it up, make it maybe half of the time, you as a professional cutting out some of the things that you think are extraneous or non-essential, so that you can do things like article of the week, etc. That would be my first step. And then if you don't have success there, leave a comment on this video and I can give you what I think is the next step. I hope that helps.